We are just learning how to solve, or we are just learning mathematical physics. In that particular topic, we are dealing with calculus. We have just finished differential calculus, that is differentiation. Now, in this particular class, I will teach you integral calculus. Do you have any idea about that?
Yes.
Okay. So in differentiation is nothing but just breaking of that particular graph to find a given particular instant to define the slope at that particular instant of time. So that would able to define the rate of change of that particular curve, or to find the nature and instant nature of the graph, maxima or minima, or so many different functions or application of that particular term. Now, the next part is integral calculus. Suppose if there is a curve like this way, and if somebody asks you to find area of this particular curve with respect to x-axis, so how do you define? You would simply say this is a geometrical figure which is resembling as triangle, so it will must have a base from this point to this point and a height corresponding to that particular base from this point to this point. So area of this particular triangle would be half base into height. Okay, very simple.
Yes, sir.
But if there is a curve like this, and they will ask you to find the area of this particular curve from any of one end to the other end. So how are you able to define or calculate that particular area inscribing in this particular curve? So for this, we just split this particular curve into very infinitely small segment like this small strip. Or we assume that with this particular graph from this end to this end consists of this particular step to n number of times like this way. Okay, let's say this particular strip has a width from this point to this point as dx, and it has a length from this point to this point as y. So area of this particular strip would be y times dx. Is it fine?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So how to calculate this particular sum from one end to another end? So we use a mathematical term that is called sigma. Sigma means summation of that particular quantity from one end to another end. But this summation would define on the basis of this particular change to be some significant part. That means whenever we use sigma, it means y times delta x. Delta x means this particular change has some significant value. But if this particular change would be very small or infinitely small to dx, then this particular sigma gets transformed to another symbol like this way. Sigma just defines sum. The first letter of this particular sum is S. Elongate this particular S to this way. So this particular term is called sign of integration. Okay. Is it clear to everyone till now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So integration simply defines summation of that particular small strip, or summation to calculate the entire area of that particular curve, which is not being straight. It may be of any different shape. So we just split that particular curve into my infinitely small strip and multiply with that particular y coordinate. So it would be length times breadth and summation over one end to another. So this summation would transform to sine of integration s elongated x, and this particular way, or by this way, we can able to calculate the area of this particular curve. So by putting this particular y as representing this particular or defining this particular curve to be function, and we would be able to calculate the area or related part of this particular curve. Okay, I'm giving some formula regarding this. Just write this. First of all, write this whole part. Done?
Yes, sir.
Hiba,
Yes, sir.
all are written? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now, for this particular integration or summing of this particular graph, we define the integration into two different parts as first is called indefinite and the second is called definite. Definite and indefinite defines on the basis of limit to which we are considering that particular curve. Suppose if there is a curve which is extending from one infinity to the other infinity or from minus infinity to plus infinity, there is no limit defining for that particular curve. So the integration for that particular part is called indefinite integration. When there is no limit bounded to find the area of that particular curve, then that integration is called indefinite integration. Means the integration when there is no limit bounded. In the next part, if there is a limit to which or up to which we have to calculate like this way, since this particular curve is extending from minus infinity to plus infinity, and we are allowed to find area from this particular end to this particular end. So this is called definite integration. So for this particular integration, we define some limit for that particular integral. So it says if there is limit. So let's say this is the first coordinate, A means lower limit, and this is called B as upper limit, or the final point to which we have to calculate area. Okay. While integrating that particular function and putting particular this value, it will define you the area of that particular curve from this point to this point. Okay. If you put the limit in that particular integral to be A, then it will define the area from this point to this point. Now, if you put the limit to be B, so it will define the area for the entire part from origin to that particular point. Now, we have to restrict ourselves to calculate the area bounded within this particular region. So what will we do? We'll just subtract this particular part with this particular part to obtain from this point to this form. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So for this particular process, we define integration y of that particular dx limit from a to b. This particular a is called lower limit and this particular b is called upper limit. Let's say integral of this particular part to be y capital times x with limit b a. Put the value of x to be b on first part, so it will be y times b. Similarly, limit of this particular term, lower limit, to be a as the next part. Now we have to subtract these two different values to find the required part of this particular curve. So we'll just subtract these two terms. This is the whole process to do this particular definite integral. Okay,
Yes, sir.
is it clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, just write it down. Salman, any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay. Khalid, have you written?
Yes, sir.
All are done?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, first formula for this particular integral part is x raised to the power n integration with respect to dx. It is equals to x raised to the power n plus 1 divided by n plus 1. There is a limitation, n should not be equals to minus 1. Okay. So in differentiation, we have done if x raised to the power n, we just bring this particular exponential to the coefficient and reduce the exponential by 1. This was the process of differentiation of this particular x to the power n. But in integration, we raise the exponential by 1 and divide the whole term to that particular exponential. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Next is integration is nothing but reciprocal or reverse of differentiation. So sin x dx integration is equals to minus of cos x, as while differentiating cos x, it will gives you minus sin x. So this minus it goes to this side. So it will becomes integration of sin x is equals to minus of cos x. Similarly, integration of cos x dx is equals to plus sin x. Exponential function e raised to the power x dx gives you same value, and 1 over x dx means x raised to the power minus 1. In this particular term, we haven't used this particular way. So this different integration gives you log of x. As we have done, log of x get differentiation to give you 1 over x. So 1 over x integration to give you log x. Okay. Similarly, as we have done in differentiation for different functions. Likewise, if y is sum or difference of any two different function like fx plus minus gx. Let's say here y is nothing but dy over dx. So bring this particular dx to right hand side. So it will gives you dy is equals to fx dx plus or minus gx dx. Now integrate this particular part individually. It means while the function which are related with one another in addition or subtraction. So while differentiating or integrating, they will not influence one another. They each get differentiated or integrated individually. So let's say it have the derivative part as dy, and we have to calculate or we have to integrate this particular function. There is nothing in relation of y in this particular point. So we can say there must be 1 as a multiplicative factor for dy. Okay, I can write this. And 1 can be written as any number to the power 0 times dy. So integrate this particular function like this way. So it will gives you y raised to the power 1 plus 1 divided by 0 plus 1. So it will be nothing but just 1. Okay. Is it clear to everyone till now?
Yes, sir.
Just try this whole part. I will give you some examples to solve. All have written.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Salman and out.
Not for now, sir.
Okay. Suppose dy is over dx is equals to 2x plus 1 over root x. Find y. Just try yourself to do this particular set. Khalid, any doubt while solving?
Till now, no doubt, sir.
Okay. Hiba?
No, sir.
Okay. First, write all different expression in terms of exponential and should be in numerator, and just apply the given formula and try to solve.
Sorry, sir, did you say something just now? I didn't hear it.
Yes, Hamza?
I didn't hear what you said just now.
That was nothing important, so important. I've just said, bring all the different terms to the numerator and write them in exponential form and try to solve them on the basis of the formula as we have done previously. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Saman, have you done?
No, sir, I'm still doing it.
Okay. Let me give you some hint. Just write this as 2 being coefficient and x raised to the power 1 plus, bring this particular part to numerator. It is nothing but x raised to the power half. If it goes to numerator, then its exponential becomes minus. So it will becomes minus half. It is nothing but dy over dx. So multiply dx to the right hand side with this particular whole part like this. Now expand them to x raised to the power 1 times dx plus x to the power minus 1 times dx is equals to dy. Now integrate each part individually. There is nothing in this particular point related to y, so I can write as y raised to the power 0. Now apply x to the power n dx is equals to just increase the exponent by 1 and divide by the whole exponential like this one. Khalid, tell me your answer.
Sir, still haven't done. I did the wrong way.
Okay, okay.
Sir, we have to substitute that in the equation like 2 into that value.
Yeah, just here in the first part, x raised to the power 1. So n is nothing but 1. So I can write them as x to the power 1 plus 1 over 1 plus 1. Okay.
Oh, okay, sir.
Similarly, in this particular expression here, x raised to the power minus half. So just it becomes minus half plus 1 divided by minus half plus 1. Hamza, any doubt while solving?
No, sir.
Okay. Salman, any doubt?
No, sir. I did the wrong way, then I cannot do it.
Okay.
Sir, done.
Tell me your answer. Y
X
is
square,
equals to,
y is equal
yeah,
to x square plus 2 root x.
I think you are right. Hamza, we're done.
No, sir.
Hiba, tell me your answer.
Sir, I'm doing.
Okay. Should I solve? Just see. Here, y raised to the power 0. So I can compare this particular part to be this particular way. So it will be just y raised to the power 0 plus 1 divided by 0 plus 1 is equals to 2. Here, x raised to the power 1. So I can write them as 1 plus 1 divided by 1 plus 1 plus x raised to the power minus half. So it can be written like minus half plus 1 divided by minus half plus 1. Is it correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Y raised to the power 0 plus 1, it means it will be 1. And this would also mean 1. So it will be just y is equals to 2. X raised to the power 2 and divide by 2. This 2 and this 2 will cancel out. Plus x raised to the power minus half plus 1. So it means minus half plus 1 divide by 1. So take LCM to be 2. So it would be minus 1 plus 2 means plus 1 over 2. Okay. So it will becomes plus 1 over 2 divided by plus 1 over 2. So it means x square 1 over 2 becomes 2 over 1 and x to the power half, which means under root x. So the final answer would be y is equals to x square plus 2 root x. Salman, any doubt?
No, sir.
Have you got this result?
Yes.
Did you got this particular result?
Yeah, I got it. Close.
Okay. Hamza,
Yes, sir.
any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay. I'm giving you one more example. If dy over dx is equals to 1 over x plus 5, find y. Try to solve with patience.
Sir, if we have any fractional numbers, so do we have to take the denominator to numerator?
Yeah. Khalid,
Sir,
have you solved? Yes.
yes, sir, done.
Tell me your answer.
Y
Y
is
is
equal
equals
to x raised to 0 plus 5x.
okay. Just check your result once again. Salman, have you solved? Okay. No, no. Let me solve. Hiba, have you done?
No, sir, I'm doing the last part.
Tell me your first integral answer for this part. I think you all have done the same mistake. dy is equals to, if I bring this particular term to the numerator, it will be -1 times dx plus 5 times dx. If we integrate this particular part, -1 plus 1 divided by -1 plus 1. So it will be x to the power 0 divided by 0. So this is the form of indeterminate, or it could be called as infinite, or simply called not possible. So this is not possible way of solving that particular part. I have given you a limitation regarding this particular using a formula. While using x to the power n dx is equals to x to the power n plus 1 divided by n plus 1, there is a limitation, n should not be equals to -1. Okay. For n is equals to -1, we have just a relation like this. Okay, Khalid.
Oh, okay, yes, sir.
So we can simply write this as dy is equals to 1 over x times dx plus 5 times dx. Integration. Here we can write y raised to the power 0. Here I can write x raised to the power 0. So it will becomes y to the power 0 plus 1 over 0 plus 1. 1 over x integrated to log x plus 5. Here x to the power 0, it means 0 plus 1 divided by 0 plus 1. So your answer would be y is equals to log x plus 5x. 2x. Okay, Hamza?
Yes, sir.
Iba? Any
Yes,
doubt?
sir. No, sir.
Okay, Salman, is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we have done how to integrate any different functions regarding sum or difference of two different functions. There is no rule regarding product rule, quotient rule, exponential rule, as we have done in differentiation. But there is a rule in integration that is called substitution method. What it actually means? As we have done in differentiation, f y is equals to sine x squared plus 4x. So we had just defined this particular term as function of function. Means it consists of several different functions combined within each other, and they can't be get separated individually. Okay, so this particular relation is called function of function. So I have teach you how to solve this particular way. Just find or just order different function on the basis of which one is in the outermost part and the next one which is inward of that particular function, and so on. In this particular arrangement, sin x is the outermost part. So I can order that particular function as first function. And this is the angle of that particular sine. So this will be taken as second function. So the rule of differentiating this particular function is differentiate first part, leaving the other part remains unaffected. So differentiation of sine will be cos as it is. And now differentiate the second part. So it will becomes 2x plus 4. X squared plus 4x. Okay. Have you
Yes, sir.
remembered this particular way?
Yes, sir.
Khalid? Okay. In the same way, how to integrate any function. Suppose dy dx is equals to sine of ax plus b. So we can simply define this particular function as composition of two different functions. Here is sine x, and this particular is algebraic function. Okay. So we can just substitute some variable to this particular function to make the whole function as single term dependent. Likewise, let t is equals to ax plus b. So I have just substituted ax plus b to be t. Now differentiate this particular part. So it will be dt over dx is equals to a being coefficient, and the differentiation of x would be 1, b being constant. So derivative of any constant to be 0. So I can simply write this as dt divided by a is equals to dx. Is it clear, Suman?
Yes, sir.
Any doubt?
No, sir.
Have you learned differentiation properly?
I'm quite understanding it. Yeah.
Okay. So in this particular way, we can write dy is equals to sine ax plus b times dx. Now substitute all different values in terms of t in this particular function. So it will be sine of t as ax plus b gets substituted to t. And here dx. So dx from this particular part would be dt over a. So it becomes dt divided by a is equals to dy. So on substituting, I have just make this particular function as single function dependent. Okay. Now, integrating both sides, it will gives you integration of dy would be y 1 over a, and integration of sine x is minus of cos t. Now, as we have substituted t for this particular part, so bring this particular part to this point. So it will be minus of cos ax plus b divided by a. So this would be your final answer. Khalid, any doubt?
No, sir.
If someone asks you to differentiate this particular function, so we can say y is equals to sine ax plus b. Since it consists of two different functions and composition of that, so dy dx would be just differentiate sine x. So it will be cos ax plus b, and differentiation of this part would be a, differentiation of x would be 1, plus differentiation of b would be 0. So it will be a times cos x plus b. So from this particular differentiation and integration, we can conclude two different rules. First, while differentiating, the coefficient of x gets multiplied to the main result. Similarly, while integrating, the coefficient of x gets divided in this particular integration. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so they will ask you only about the linear function in this particular angle. They won't ask you exponential having 2, 3, 4, or any different power. They will ask you just linear power. So for the linear function in differentiation, bring the coefficient of x to the multiplication of that particular derivative. And similarly, while integrating, bring the coefficient to the division part. Okay, instead of solving by this way or by substitution method. This is just shortcut rule to find the integration or differentiation of that particular part. Is it clear to everyone?
Can you explain that again?
Since any of the function which is be like this, which consists of, or simply say any trigonometric function, sine, cos, tan, or any other function, and the angle of that particular trigonometric function to be linear function of, or the linear power of x, like ax plus b, omega t plus phi, or any of the term, means the variable would have linear exponent. So on differentiating that particular part, the coefficient of that particular variable gets multiplied to the final result. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Similarly, while integrating this particular function, the coefficient of x gets divided in the final result. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So by this particular conclusion, I'm giving you some example. Just write this out. Write this whole. I'm giving some relation regarding this. Salman, Khalid, any doubt?
No, sir.
All have written?
Yes, sir.
Hiba, any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay. Suppose if y is equals to cos of kx plus 2 and dy dx is equals to cos of kx plus 2. Find differentiation integration of these two functions. Hamza, you solved?
Sir, do
Khalid? Okay. As we have done in last problem, just apply the similar concept in this particular part while differentiating any of trigonometric function sine, cos, tan, any of the function. Just differentiate that particular part. So it will becomes minus of sine kx plus 2 and the coefficient of x gets multiplied in this particular part. So it will be minus of k times sine kx plus 2. Okay. Similarly, while integrating this particular function, it will be y is equals to just integrate this particular function. So it will be sine kx plus 2 and as k gets multiplied while differentiating. So in integration, k gets divided or multiplied. Khalid gets divided.
Divide.
This is a simple route to define this particular or integrate this particular function. Any doubt till now? Eba?
No, sir.
Okay. All have written this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we have just done indefinite integral where there is no limit in this particular integration. Now, how to solve any definite integral? Let's suppose if dy dx is equals to 2x plus 3 and they will ask you find y for x is equals to 1 to x is equals to 3. It means this is your lower limit and this is your upper limit. So first of all, try to integrate this particular function. So it would be dy is equals to 2x times dx plus 3 times dx. Integrating both sides, Now put the limit over that particular integral from x is equals to 1 to x is equals to 3. So the 1 here is lower limit, so it will be at this position, and upper limit would be 3 and 3. And we have to calculate the value of y. Since there is no function related with y in this particular section, so we can write as y raised to the power 0. Similarly, x raised to the power 0. So on integrating, this will becomes y is equals to 2 x raised to the power 1. So on integration, it will becomes 1 plus 1 divided by 1 plus 1 and limit 3 to 1 plus 3 times of x raised to the power 0 gets integrated to x with limit 3 to 1. Now it will becomes 2 x square over 2 with limit 3 to 1 plus 3 times of x with limit 3 to 1. Now put their values. 2 and 2 gets cancelled out. First, x raised to the power 2 and the upper limit is 3. So bring this particular 3 to this particular position. So it will be value of x squared. And similarly, lower limit is 1. So 1 square, and there is different sign in between them. Is it clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Similarly, for this section, as x have linear power, so it will be 3 multiplied by this particular section. So upper limit is 3 to the power 1 minus lower limit 1 to the power 1. So on solving, it will becomes 3 square 9 minus 1 plus 3 times 3 minus 1, 2. So it will become 9 minus 1, 8, 3 to the 6. So it will becomes 4 unit. Is it clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
By any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay, just write down. Have you all written?
Yes, sir.
Khalid?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Suppose dy dx is equals to try to solve. Salman?
Yes, sir. Hello.
Yes.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Am I audible now?
Yeah, you are.
Okay. So we have just finished so much topic. Where are you?
No, like I came before this topic. I just changed it right now. I
Okay, okay.
forgot.
Okay, just try to solve this particular part. Khalid, in doubt while solving?
No, sir.
Okay. Hamza, have you solved?
Sir, is it 6?
6. Okay. Hiba, tell me your answer.
Sir, I'm doing.
Okay. Salman, any difficulty while solving?
No, sir.
Okay. Hamza, check your answer once again.
So I have a doubt on my calculation. Maybe I went wrong somewhere.
Okay. Hamza, tell me the integral part for the first segment.
Sir, I'm redoing it because
Okay.
I found my mistake.
Khalid, have you done?
No, sir.
Salman, have you done?
No, sir.
Should I solve?
Sir, is it 4?
No, I think it would be in decimal. I think it would be 7.5 or something like this. 9.5. Just see. dy is equals to x raised to the power minus half times dx plus x raised to the power 1 times dx. Integration, integration, integration. Limit from 1 to 4, from 1 to 4. So on integration of dy, it would be y. Integration of this part would be x raised to the power minus half plus 1 divided by minus half plus 1 with limit 4 and 1 plus x to the power 1. So it will be plus 1 divided by 1 plus 1 with limit 4 and 1. Now this will becomes minus half plus 1. So it will be plus half and this will be plus half. So plus half becomes 2 times of x raised to the power half means under root of x with limit 4 and 1. Is it clear? I've just solved this particular fraction, so it will be minus 1 plus half. So taking LCM to be 2, so it will be minus 1 plus 2, so it will be 1 over 2. So the exponential of x is 1 over 2, so it means square root of that particular part. And 1 over 2 in denominator, so it will becomes 2 over 1 in the particular coefficient plus x squared by 2 with limit 4 and 1. Just put the limit. Under root of x and x is 4. Under root of x and x is 1. And there is subtraction sign in between that. Plus half being coefficient. X raised to the power 2 and the value of x is 4. So it will becomes 4 raised to the power 2 minus 1 raised to the power 2. Any doubt till now?
No, sir.
Now it will becomes 2. Under root of 4 is 2 and under root of 1 is 1 plus half square of 4 is 16 and square of 1 is 1. So it will becomes 2 minus 1, 1 multiplied by 2. It means 2 plus. So 16 minus 1, 15 divided by 2 is 7.5. So your answer would be 9.5 unit. Is it clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Khalid?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Just try this on. Hiba, any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay. Have you all written?
Yes, sir.
Salman? Khalid?
Yes, sir. Done.
Okay. I'm giving you one more example. F dy dx is equals to try to solve.
Sir, do we have to find the integration for all three of them?
Yeah. First integrate all part and try to put the limit.
Sir, done.
Yes. Tell me your answer.
8.
Okay. Hamza, have you done?
Yes, sir,
Salman,
doing.
Sir, doing.
Hiba,
No, sir, doing.
okay. Before putting the limit, first tell me the integral part of each term. The integration of this particular part is Salman. Have you solved? Hiba, Okay, okay. First, try to integrate each part individually. So it will becomes 3x squared dx minus 2 times of x dx plus 4 part times dx. Integration, integration, and integration. So integration of y dy would be y, 3 being coefficient. Here x raised to the power 2. So the rule of integration is x raised to the power x n dx is equals to just add 1 to the exponential and divide the whole exponential like this way. So here we have 2 as exponent. So it will be x raised to the power 2 plus 1 divided by 2 plus 1. Similarly, proceed for this part and this part as well. Okay, Salman? First, try to integrate each segment and then start putting the limit. Hamza, have we done the integration part?
Yes, sir.
Iba,
Yes, sir.
tell me your answer for the second integral.
Minus 2x square.
Minus 2 being coefficient. Here x raised to the power 1. So the integration would be 1 plus 1 divided by 1. Okay.
Okay, sir.
And for the next part, Salman,
4x0 plus 1 something.
since it has x raised to the power 0, so it will be 0 plus 1 divided by
By
0 plus 1. Or you may write it as the integration of dx to be x only. Okay.
I wrote like
Instead of writing this whole part, just write it as x. So we have just integrated whole part. Now simplify this particular term and start putting the limit from 1 to 2. On simplification, this is your 2 plus 1, 3 gets cancelled out. This is your 1 plus 1, 2 cancel out. So we're left with x raised to the power q minus 2 times of x squared plus 4x. Now put the limit to each term. From 1 to 2, from 1 to 2, from 1.
Sir, it should be x square instead of minus 2x square, right?
Okay, okay. This two would cancel out. This two and this two would cancel out, so we're left with only -1. Okay, Salman?
So is the answer 8?
Yeah. Salman, in doubt?
No, sir.
Okay. Now just put the value of x to be 2 and x to be 1 and subtract them. Similarly for this part as well. If I am solved,
So doing the last part.
okay. Salman, have you put the limit?
Yes, sir.
In the first part, here x raised to the power cube. So it means 2 raised to the power cube minus 1 raised to the power cube minus here x squared. So it means 2 square minus 1 square plus 4 times x raised to the power 1. So it means 2 raised to the power 1 minus 1 raised to the power 1. So it would be 2 raised to the power cube means 8 minus 1 for the first part. 2 raised to the power 2 means 4 minus 1 for the second part plus 4 times 2 minus 1. So it will be 8 minus 7, 8 minus 1, 7, 4 minus 1, 3, and 2 minus 1, 1. So 7 plus 4, 11, minus 3, 2. Is it clear? Salman, have you got the same result?
Yes, sir.
Eba?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm giving the last example related to this with some trigonometric function. If dy dx is equals to sin x plus cos x, and try to find y for x is equals to 0 to x is equals to pi. Pi means 1 degree. Try to solve. Khalid, try to solve this particular problem. First,
Yes,
try to
sir.
integrate individually. First, try to integrate each function and then put the limit. integration of sin x is minus cos x, and integration of cos x is just sin x. Sin 0 is 0, sin pi is also 0, cos 0 is 1, and cos pi is minus 1. Just remember these values. Tell me your answer. Khalid, have you solved? Salman, any doubt?
No, sir.
Hamza,
Yes, sir.
have you solved?
So is it -1?
No. Just check your final result. I've just written all the calculations regarding this particular problem. Hiba, have you solved?
No, sir.
Any difficulty?
No, sir, I'm doing.
Okay. Khalid, have you solved?
No, sir.
Have you solved? Let me give you some hint. Suppose dy is equals to sin x dx plus cos x dx. Integration, integration, and integration. So the integration of dy would be y. Integration of sin x, as I have written this particular part, so it would be minus cos x. Similarly, integration of cos x would be plus sin x. Is it clear? Salman?
Yes, sir.
Salman, is it clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now put the limit from 0 to pi and from 0 to pi minus being coefficient. First, put the value of x to be upper limit. So it will be cos of pi minus cos of 0 plus sine upper limit minus sine lower limit. Is it clear? Now try to simplify by putting all the values from this particular table. Hiba, any doubt?
No, sir.
Sir, done.
Answer?
Answer is 1.
Okay. Just see your answer once again.
Sir, is it 0?
0. Hiba, tell your answer. Minus cos pi is minus 1. So minus cos 0 is plus 1 plus sin pi is 0 and sin 0 is 0. So minus 1 becomes minus 2 and this will be a 0. Minus minus plus. From where you all have got same result and 1. Hamza?
Sir, I did the miscalculation in the last part.
Okay. Salman, any doubt? Khalid?
Yes, sir, done.
Hiba? Any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay. Salman?
No, sir, no doubt.
Okay. So you just finished integral part, or how to solve definite integral and how to solve indefinite integral. Just try to practice more and more problems so that you may be able to solve any of the problems related like this. I'm giving you some tips regarding solving problems in physics. Problem solving. In physics, there are three different ways of solving or three different ways of asking any problem. Suppose if a quantity is related from or related as or related to x and y as y divided by x. So if they have given you numerical value, so just put the value of this particular y or x in this particular part and try to solve for this particular quantity q. Likewise, if I want to calculate speed, so speed is equals to nothing but distance over time. So if they have given you the numerical part of distance and time, so just try to put the values in this particular term. So you will be able to calculate the speed using this particular relation. The next way is to, since it is perpendicular over base. So if they have given you in the form of graph, so in the form of graph, this particular term would means slope of y and x graph. Likewise, if there is a graph related to distance and time, so slope of distance versus time will give you speed regarding this particular term. And there is a third term related to this. If there is a function of y with respect to x, and we want to calculate this particular point EQ, so we just differentiate that particular y with respect to x, likewise dy over dx. So we have three different ways according to the given input in that particular question. Regarding they have given you numerical part, so we use this particular formula for numerical value. If they have given you graph, so the any relation of this particular quantity as the ratio of the two terms, so it will defined by the slope of that particular graph. If they have given you graph, and third condition, if y is any variable dependent to x, and we have to calculate quantity q, so it will be obtained by just differentiating that particular variable y with respect to x. In this particular question, they have given you y as variable of x or y as a function of x. Okay. Suppose if I have given you distance x is equals to e square plus 5t and ask you to find speed at t is equals to 2 seconds. So what will we do? Since distance and time are just in ratio, and here distance is time dependent function. So by using this particular formula, we can simply differentiate that particular part and put the value of t to find this particular speed. Is it okay?
Yes,
Hamza?
sir.
Salman?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Similarly, if quantity q is related with y and x as the product of the two terms, let's say quantity Q is related with product of these two terms, X times Y. So if they have given you numerical value, so just put the values in this particular relation to obtain this particular quantity. Next, if they have given you graph and you have to calculate this particular part, this is nothing but product of two different quantities, and product of any two different coordinate will gives you area regarding that particular graph. So from this graph, try to obtain area under XY curve to obtain this particular point. Okay, is it clear?
Yes, sir.
And there is a third condition. If they have given you y as x dependent or x as y dependent function, and we have to just product that particular term to obtain this particular quantity. So it will be like y times dx or simply x times dy, in any of the two different forms. So just integrate that particular variable to find this particular quantity q. So there is two different ways to solving any of the quantity, which may be related in three different ways. First, by simply formula. Next is by using graph. And third, by using any function. So by knowing the particular formula or that particular slope or that particular derivative, you would be able to calculate the quantity, whether related by this way or this way. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Salman, any doubt?
No, sir.
Suppose I'm giving you a question. If this is your current, this is your time. Means current versus time graph. The coordinate of this particular point is 0, 10, and the coordinate of this particular point is 5, 0. And they have asked you find charge for this particular graph. So how will you approach? Just try to find a relation between current, time, and charge. So we have just learned in our class 10, current is equals to charge divided by time. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So in this particular relation, we have to calculate charge. So bring this particular time to left side. So it will becomes Q is equals to I into T. This is nothing but the product of two different quantity. Okay. Since in this particular question, they have given you graph. So by using this particular relation, you will be able to calculate charge. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Just try to find charge for this particular graph. Salman, any doubt in this particular topic?
No, sir. True.
Okay. This is nothing but area under current time graph. And from this particular graph, it is nothing but triangle. So the area of triangle is half base into height. Hamza, have you solved? Have you all written whole? Khalid, have you solved?
Not yet, sir.
Okay. Salman, have you done?
Not yet finished, but I'll be soon done.
Okay. Iba, have you done?
No, sir.
Have you all written this whole part?
Yes, sir.
We have to just calculate area under this particular graph. So in this particular curve, we have base as 5 and perpendicular as 10. So the area of triangle is nothing but half base into height. So it would be half base into height. So it will be
Is it
25.
75?
Good. Okay, Khalid?
Oh, yes, sir.
Okay. So we have just finished all the mathematical tools regarding this particular whole physics. So in next class, we will just start mechanics and with the third chapter that is called motion straight line. Okay. Any doubt from today's class? Salman? Okay then. We will meet in our next class.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Allah Hafiz, sir.
Allah
Thank you,
Hafiz.
sir. Allah Hafiz.
Okay. Hello, Salman.
Yes, sir. Network issues I had.
Okay, okay. Any doubt from today's class?
No, sir.
Okay. So we'll start third chapter in our next class. Okay.
Okay.
Just revise all the different problems as we have discussed today.